After telling Mom and Natsu about my time with Kay, I went up to my room and lay on my bed. How did I spend the entire afternoon with him and forget to get his number? I rolled my eyes at myself. I can't believe I was actually able to hold a conversation without fumbling. Granted, he did most of the talking, but still. Now I'm sitting here staring at the book trying to remember everything he told me about it. I smiled to myself at his embarrassment for rambling. He was talking so fast. Like he had to get all of it out at once. I let out a small chuckle. Putting the book on my nightstand, I laid on my bed and closed my eyes. The smell of coffee roused me from my sleep. Mom, who usually slept in on Saturdays, was awake. I found her at the kitchen table. Coffee in one hand, a book in the other. My book. Morning. She jumped a little. Good morning. She closed the book and slid it towards me. So, how is it? It's good. Why didn't you tell me you were writing again? She stood grabbing a paper towel to clean the few drops of coffee that had splashed onto the table. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. Plus, it's only an idea. It's a good idea, thanks. How did you get it though? It was in my room. I wasn't snooping, if that's what you're thinking. I was getting your trash yesterday and saw that something had fallen behind your dresser. I didn't think you were snooping. I was just curious. So, are you going to keep writing it? I don't know. Like I said, it's just an idea. I'd love to read it. When you're finished. If I finish it. Right. She smiled. There was a light tapping sound on my door. I got up and opened it. Hey, I'm going to grab groceries. Do you want anything? No, but I'll come with you. You sure? Yeah. I'll be ready in a minute. Okay. I grabbed some clothes and headed to the bathroom. Mom had gotten up from the table and was in the living room on the phone. I finished my breakfast and took my book back to my room and put it in my desk drawer. What's that? Natsu was standing in my doorway. It's nothing. What are you up to today? I walked towards her, closing my door behind me. I'm going to the movies with friends. Sounds fun. I gestured for her to go in front of me. She looked at me suspiciously, then turned to go downstairs. What movie are you guys going to see? Don't know yet. Depends on what's playing. What about you? I was going to see if Kay was busy today. Mom was checking the mail when I stepped onto the front porch. We need to stop past the post office. Some of the former owner's mail is mixed in with ours. Plus I need to send the remote from the old house back. That's fine. Hand me our mail. I'll sit it inside. Heading out? Mrs. Tsukihina was pulling her keys from her bag. Yeah, I've got a few errands to run. Is Kay going? I was trying to see if he wanted to hang out today. I sifted through the mail, then sat it on the table. He had planned to come with me, but my breath caught in my chest when I turned and saw him talking to Mom. Oh, here he is now. Kay, Shoyo wanted to see you. Hey, I wanted to hang out, but your mom said you guys were heading out. I looked from him to Mom. She was giving me a face that said say yes as she subtly nodded her head toward him. Sure. Mom smiled then. Well, I'll be back in a few. Call if you change your mind about the store. Okay. Her keys jingled as she waved. I could tell he was rethinking his decision as his mom drove away. Are you gonna come down? He looked at me confused, then down at his feet. Oh, right, so I was thinking we could go downtown. There are lots of things we can do once we get there. Sure. With the sun beaming behind him. His blonde hair seemed to glow. Which way is the bus stop? It's that way. I pointed towards the end of the block. It's behind the stop sign. He turned and started to walk. I reached out my hand and grabbed his. My car's this way though. My heart stopped when I felt the warmth of his hand in mine. I turned to face him. Sorry. He slowly released my hand. I knew he was silently asking if I wanted him to let go. I didn't, but my heart was still trying to catch up, so when I didn't react, he let go with a small smile. I wanted to kick myself as I followed him to his car. This is me. He pointed to a black 4-door sedan. You may have to let the seat back a little. My sister always scoots it forward. Okay. He pressed a button as he rounded the car to the driver's side. The alarm sounded and I waited for the lock to click before opening the passenger side door. The lever for the seat is on the side. He got in and leaned over to show me right as I leaned in to look for it. My breath stopped short as my eyes locked on his. Our faces were inches from each other. We both paused, neither of us wanting to make the wrong move. It's this one. I guided his hand to the lever, then pulled away. He slid the seat back as I righted myself. Taking a deep breath, I fastened my seatbelt and waited for him to get in. My heart thumped in my chest as I turned the ignition. A woman's voice filled the car. I paused the audiobook and looked over at him. You can choose the music if you want. That's okay. His voice was shaky. I pressed the button for the radio and pulled onto the road. After a few minutes of both of us pretending to listen to the music, I turned it down. A car rushed past us trying to make the light jerk. The sound of his voice surprised me. I looked at him and we both started laughing. The tension in the car was finally gone. Once the light changed, I turned the corner and drove a few more blocks. As we got closer, we started to see the shops and restaurants. I pulled into a parking space and we got out. The low hum of music from the car changed to the sound of people talking and bustling around. Horns honked and music played from a store that had its door sitting open. What should we do first? We can start at this end and make our way back around. Sound good? Sure. We headed towards the store playing music. I watched as his eyes traveled up and down the street. A slight smile came on his face and I knew I wanted to keep it there.